Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television. We're, of course, talking about the state of the economy next. And my next guest on the program is CEO, President of Rock Global Investment, Dr. Sam Omale. He also joins me from our Abuja studios. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for joining us on the program. There's so much going on in the economy, global economy, domestic economy as well. What's your assessment of how the financial markets are right now? What are the concerns of market participants?
Okay, on the global level, the concern is being defined by two things. The rise of crude nationalism across Europe and America, and the commodity prices. The rise of nationalism, especially as exhibited in the Brexit and the unexpected election of Trump, has created some kind of panic and anxiety. But that seems to have been priced in. And but the election of Trump is more of a concern until he comes out with his policies and also the people he put in place to run the administration with him. The global economy is still waiting for the policy thrust of Trump. And also the next anxiety, the next thing that is concerning market is the rise of interest rate. Janet Yellen, of the chairman of Fed, yesterday was indicating that there may be a rise of interest rate. And as you know, interest rate does not help the market. Once interest rate rises, the market will fall. So we're waiting for the rise of interest rate, increase of interest rate anytime from now, even in December, and also the policy thrust of Trump to see if he's going to match his rhetorics with the action, with the real governance. On the local level, our economy is still being defined by the issue of the depletion of the reserve, of the national reserve, foreign reserve, high interest rate, high inflation rate, and of course this is what has caused the recession we are in it. So until we're able to deal with the incidence of high interest rates, which is double digits, high inflation rates in double digits, and the almost non-existence of any reserve at all, and of course the devaluation of the naira, of the currency. These are difficult issues that the local economy is dealing with. The fiscal authority and the monetary authority are grappling with these issues, with interventions here and there. And we hope that they will cooperate and see how they get us out of the woods. But there's a need for a cooperation between the fiscal authorities and the monetary authorities, Central Bank and Ministry of Finance and the other.
Dr. Omale, it's good that you've mentioned the fiscal and the monetary authority. So let me just take you up on the monetary side, because of course we're going into the week where the Monetary Policy Committee will be holding its last meeting for the year, a very crucial meeting. What do you think, in line with what you've talked about regarding the global financial economy and in line with the economic realities, what do you think should, how do you think they should decide at the end of their two-day meeting, that is the Monetary Policy Committee?
Yeah, okay. The excuse I get each time I ask why this high incidence of high interest rates is the case in Nigeria, I hear there's too much money in the system. But I can't see the liquidity in the system because people are crying for money. There's no money anybody is seeing anywhere. So I'm definitely opposed to this double-digit interest rate. It doesn't happen anywhere. And so if there's a way they can reduce the interest rate, that will bring the cost of financing down. For people who need the finance to run their businesses. There's no way in the world that any economy can survive on double-digit inflation. Even countries like Greece, Portugal, Spain, in the height of the recession, didn't have that kind of high level of interest rate. And so the interest rate should be addressed. The issue of foreign currency. I don't know how they're going to do that because there's just no way the government or the country is earning foreign exchange at all. All our activities have been draining the exchange of the country. All our activities, be that health, let it be that education, travel, it's all draining the exchange until we figure out how we can conserve, we can limit our consumption of foreign goods, foreign services and products. Then the issue of managing the foreign exchange rate cannot be done. There's no monetary policy that can deal with that. It has to deal with for fiscal with discipline. Our lifestyle has to be changed. No monetary policy can do that until the country begin to earn foreign exchange, until we begin to limit our consumption of things that will require foreign exchange. The naira will still be going down the way it is. And if you know that in our lifetime, naira was one to the pound, 1 to the dollar, and now it's 1 to 500, whatever it is, you find that this cannot be sustained, and the country needs to wake up and become more disciplined in the way we consume. Let's close the economy. Let's close and build from within, and stop the flow, because at the end of the day, it doesn't exist. Those people who have hidden or hoarded this currency should be able to release them. I'm happy the Central Bank has given a kind of amnesty or guarantee that anybody who releases the money out will not be put in prison, because there was a policy before that scared people from bringing the money to the system.
So Dr.
people have hoarded it in their homes, wherever they are, if they've been encouraged to bring it back into the system so as to ease the tightening on the availability of foreign currency in the country.
So, Dr. Omale, that's for one of the financial regulators. But taking a look at the system, the way it is, how would you rate the other regulators, that have tried to keep some sense of stability and stability in the system? Talk to us a little bit more about that, especially with how they discharge their responsibilities.
Okay, the financial market or the financial structure is made up of principally the government, the businesses, and the households. At the center of that triangle is the financial institution, made up of banks, pensions, and insurance, and investment companies. Now, this triangle, government, households, and businesses, have a common transaction called financial transaction, which is made possible by financial institutions. Now, these financial institutions, to the extent to which they perform their role, the role of making money available, payment system, regulation, supervision, and advice, product development, and confidence into the marketplace, at the heart of that is supervision. And supervision helps the market to be stable, which is what Central Bank always emphasizes on the financial stability. Now, financial stability is the ability of the system to withstand any unexpected macroeconomic shocks that will come to the market, to prevent it from carrying out its traditional money transmission, money availability, providing money in the marketplace. And that's where Central Bank, and especially the deposit insurer, I think in Nigeria is Nigerian Deposit Insurance, they perform, especially Nigerian Deposit Insurance, they perform what they call safety net functions. The safety net functions brings about confidence in the marketplace through the activities they do. Number one, guaranteeing depositors a fund. Number two, providing supervision. Number three, risk assessment. Number four, helping in smooth crisis resolution. In the event of a liquidation, they are able to do it in a smooth way that doesn't disrupt the system. So NDIC and Central Bank always perform this joint examination, joint stress test, joint supervision of banks. And NDIC is like every other deposit insurance in the world, help to provide safety net. Then,
so in view of
Bank, of course,
Dr. Omale, so in view of this important role that you've just...
and the macro supervision, where they see a hood.
You've just highlighted about the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation in the financial system stability. What do you make of recent calls by a former DG of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, as Professor Ndidi Okereke-Onyike, to the effect that the NDICB merged with the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria? There's also been some views as well that it should be scrapped altogether.
No, I think those few views are ridiculous and laughable. I mean, it just shows a clear evidence that they don't know what the safety net provision is about, the safety net function is about. You couldn't scrap NDIC because they provide the confidence in the marketplace. They, especially in the guarantee of deposits, I know that they have a coverage, which means if you have anybody with 1 naira to 500,000 in the marketplace, is assured of getting that money from the system in the case of a crisis. So anybody who's talking of scrapping them or merging them don't know their functions. NDIC is a safety net provider. It helps in confidence in the system. Thereby, if there's a crisis in place, the depositors know that they're able to recoup their money back. What that means is that it provides liquidity in the system and gets the system to run smoothly without any run on the banks. And the way they dissolve or the way they liquidate these banks will, without crisis, without creating any panic or contagion in the marketplace, show their relevance. And the fact also that they co-examine banks with the central bank shows that they're very important. So anybody calling for that scrap is doesn't understand their function. And also, let me just add this, because sometimes people go to the public opinion and bring out ridiculous advice that don't really make sense, because and you begin to see where is it coming from, or what have they done in their own area, because the capital market has not been in good shape during this people's period. The issues of confidence crisis, conflict of interest, insider abuse, manipulation in the marketplace, lack of supervision, lack of any form of governance, corporate governance at all. And that's where we are. The capital market is still rudimentary in this country, with just two main products still trading on the capital market, with no sense of valuation. We don't know how the prices in the market you are quoting, how did they arrive at them? So there's confusion, and that kind of person should not be qualified to even give an opinion in terms of financial matters. And whoever was saying they should scrap, it could be, if you check him, it could be that he was, I think you just said he was a former managing director of a bank. You check whether if his bank was liquidated, then it would mean that he's fighting back. What he should do if
I said the former DG of the Nigerian Stock Exchange had actually said that they made recent calls to have the NDIC merged with AMCON, but there was another view from a former managing director of another bank that said the NDIC should be scrapped altogether. So you've reacted to that, but of course we'll try to get more on this particular issue, which is developing. But that's so much we can take. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam Omale, for joining us on the program this morning. Dr. Sam Omale is the President, CEO, Rock Global Investment. This particular issue, which we've just talked about, which is, of course, markets developments in terms of regulatory segmentation, is a developing story, and we'll track it here for you on Business Morning, but we'll be right back.